All right, let's get into it. Hello and welcome everybody to episode 88 of the GGG Podcast. I'm Paul, and joining me as always is Phil. We got a great show for you today. Going to talk lots about the Battlefield beta. I played a lot of it this weekend, and we got details about the second weekend of the beta. New game modes, new maps, so that's pretty interesting. Helldivers is coming to Xbox very, very shortly. I think it's like 12 days now, maybe 14 days since we're recording this. Dragon Age was supposedly going to have a Trilogy remaster. We got some Monster Hunter news. We got some Subnautica 2 news. So it's going to be fantastic. But before we get into all of those stories, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. And if you're listening to the audio only version on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, follow us over there as well. Give us a 5-star review. Do your thing. Help us out. We appreciate it. Phil, how are you doing this week? I see you've been playing some Marvel Rivals. Have you been enjoying Blade?
Yeah, I have some matches where Blade is great, and then some matches where I don't know what happens in that game. It's kind of wild. Or you have a team where you have like 4 DPS.
Yes.
Or 5 DPS and 1 healer.
Sounds like a
it's
dream.
Great.
Yeah.
it's a very fun game, and the community who plays it are excellent. Outside of that, in my world, the sort of like, well, actually, there's some cool stuff for Magic the Gathering.
Yes, the Avatar stuff.
Yeah, so they've been announcing Spider-Man stuff, which is not even out.
Okay.
And the following set is Avatar stuff. Both of which look really, really cool.
Yeah.
Although some of the Avatar card designs are, this is a PG-13 episode. They are ass. They are
really.
And it's not the art; it's like the border, the card like borders, like they do like this weird extended art, and it just looks like bad late '90s like Lion King-esque art.
Oh,
it's just it's weird choice. So
from what I saw, I liked them. So, but maybe I do know they got some of the original artists to do the cards from the TV show. So maybe that vibe is not your thing.
No, I think the art is great. It's just like the bordering and like where all the text boxes are, just look real funky.
Okay,
and just swing and a miss. But still very excited for the cards. They look dope.
Right on. Have you been playing any more Rematch, or has that ship sailed officially?
I haven't been playing more just because I've been so busy. But
right,
definitely want to. It's a good game.
Right on.
It's the best.
It's the best. Well, I've been playing a little bit of Marvel Rivals as well. I've been, kind of enjoying the season. I've been playing it much shorter bursts. I haven't been as like, God, I gotta do every event quest. I have to get every little thing like I used to do a couple seasons ago. So, but I have enjoyed Blade. I've enjoyed Phoenix. I feel like the game is the most balanced it's ever been, which is kind of like a weird statement because it's it's the type of game where you can get killed in an instant, even if you have this giant health pool that you think you have. So been enjoying that. Still been playing No Man's Sky. I'm deep questing into that and trying to get to some secret things in the very, very late game. So that's been fun. What else? I obviously have been playing the Battlefield beta. I'm going to save those opinions for when we talk about Battlefield, which will be our first news topic. But yeah, let's just get into our major releases so we can get to that. So Echoes of the End is this week's major release. It's coming to all major platforms, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Not really hitting the sales too hard, so that's a little worrisome, but it is holding at a 72 on Metacritic. So not good, not bad, just kind of okay. It is a third-person, looks like action RPG. It seems okay. I have to say, over the last week, I have been slammed with these advertisements on my phone, in my feed. Have you seen Echoes of the End advertised at you, Phil?
I haven't. I pretty much just saw it on Steam earlier today. where I was like, oh, this is an interesting visual style. And then I clicked into it and I saw all the reviews on Steam have it at a mixed, which is, I feel like when that's usually happening, it means either there's performance issues or the game is not doing too hot.
Right.
But I will say it looked kind of like there was a game that came out not too long ago. Looks like Summoners. It has like a sort of pseudo realistic style, but also very Unreal 5 engine look to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, which is not a bad thing, but it is. It looks just of that type. Like it kind of like hurts your bar for quality because like, okay, well, it could be really really good or it could be okay.
Yeah,
you know,
it raises the expectations. If they had chosen some sort of more cartoony art style, people's expectations wouldn't be so high because it's not going for realism. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. I think it's also just like there is a type of game that works that way where it is. I'm trying to think of another good option here. I have it on my Xbox list, but I think it might even be like the same development team. Where it is just sort of like a AA game. Like it's not AAA, it's mid-tier.
Yeah.
But they have access to these really impressive visual styles, so they use that, and it's kind of like, does that give us a bar for quality? It's tough to say.
Yeah, but I don't know. It seems kind of on the level of Avowed, maybe a little bit under that, but not a Game Pass game. So makes it kind
sadly.
Makes it kind of a more difficult purchase. Well, we'll see if the game picks up in sales and manages to assemble a fan base. But the other major release for this week is Madden 26. I know you are so excited about the new Madden, Phil. In fact, I can't recall a single day where you haven't talked about Madden to me.
Yeah. Every day I talk about CTE and how it affects the lives of thousands of people across the country as the National Football League disseminates its violence and down. Another year, another Madden game. You know what I mean? At this point, I'm sure probably one of their better ones because they have something to prove.
Yeah, I guess so. I feel like I'm not a big sports gamer. I do play 2K. I do like some extreme sports games like Riders Republic, stuff like that, but not a big sports guy. We obviously like Rematch, but Rematch not a realistic sports game by any means. Madden, what?
I will give it to Rematch to say that it is more realistic in the sense of you have moment-to-moment control over what's going on.
Yes.
In games like Madden and like MLB, it sort of doesn't... You don't have that much control over what your character does. Like, you press a button and it does like 5 things versus one button being one thing. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yes. You have more control. Although, I will say most sports games now allow you to play as a single player. I don't know. It's a little debatable. But... from the early reviews that Madden 26 has been getting, it's people are saying that it's a good game. It's the best Madden in years. That being said, it's still an 8 out of 10. So new weather physics and everything like that. What this really seems like to me is that this is the first Madden that actually feels this generation, which is a little disappointing. That sports games, they can do that initial graphical leap, and then the next couple of years after that, they really don't change anything. They just rework whatever monetization microtransaction system they have in the game. So it's good to see that they've actually made technical improvements to Madden. I hope that Madden fans out there enjoy this game, and if you're one of those Madden fans, let us know how it is, because Phil and I most likely will never play this game, or maybe
I wouldn't play it if it was free. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, so maybe I'll see it. I know my brother really likes the Madden games, so maybe if I'm hanging out with him, he can show it to me or something like that. All right, Fair enough. Let's get into the news. The big news being the Battlefield 6 beta. We got some details on this. Obviously, this is going to be the second weekend that Battlefield does its beta, and they are going to be adding 2 new maps and modes for the second beta weekend, which is very exciting to me because I started to get a little worn out of the maps that were in the first weekend, and I was concerned as well that Rush was not going to be in the game, that it was just going to be Breakdown. Breakdown being kind of a mix between Conquest and Rush, where you have to capture 2 specific points and hold them at the exact same time, and that moves the battlefield back. Whereas in Rush, you just have to arm an explosive objective, and after it's destroyed, that objective is destroyed. The defense can't retake that area or anything like that. So that's very exciting. I love that there's going to be new content in the beta to test. I'm very excited about it. I had an absolute blast playing the beta. That doesn't mean that I was kicking ass every second of it. And there are some concerns I have with it. I think the major mountain map where all the sniping was, it's a classic Battlefield problem. There's too much sniping. People can just, if I'm not crawling around behind rocks, I am getting killed immediately.
Just get picked off.
Yeah, so I do think that map in general needs a little bit more cover. And I'm also kind of at this point, because I'm playing on PC, I'm like, should I be using a controller? Because kind of feels like there's a lot of auto aim going on where people are just able to lock on to me. So I'm not really clear on how much auto aim controller players are getting versus mouse and keyboard players. So yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I love that they've reworked the class system, Phil. So no more characters anymore. It's the 4 classes, but I feel like the 4 classes actually feel more distinct than they ever have in any Battlefield game. The assault class, you can have a primary weapon and a second primary weapon. So a lot of the clips online have been going around is like you can have an assault rifle and then you can have a shotgun. And then you still have a sidearm on top of that as the assault class.
That's pretty good.
And a grenade launcher and grenades and everything like that. So it really feels like this is the anti-infantry class. This is the killing machine. But he doesn't do great against tanks. And so the engineer has all the heavy explosive stuff and has the repair stuff, and he has SMGs that aren't made for great ranged combat. The support class, they want you to play with large machine guns. You're able to revive people very quickly. And you have alternatives for reviving. You can the new reviving system, I love it. This is the best revive system I've seen in a FPS in a very long time, where you can literally, if you see a squad member go down, or if you're a medic, you can revive anybody. You grab them and you drag them back as you're reviving them. So you can pull people around and into cover and get them out of situations, which it makes for great moments. I had a moment, thank you for listening to this monologue, Phil. but I had a moment where I died, and then one of my teammates grabbed me. He dragged me back down this hallway, and as he revived me, I raised my gun up, and 3 people came around the corner, and I pulled up my machine gun just in time, and I just mowed all 3 of them down because my guy was able to pick me up. And so that made for an awesome moment. I love that gameplay. There are small things to critique about the game in general, but overall, I think it was a very successful beta.
That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to play the beta because I was out on business this weekend, but it does seem that the tide is shifting towards Battlefield. I guess just the meta right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of clowning on Call of Duty for being the game where you can play as Roger from American Dad, but the gameplay is boring and stale and repetitive.
Right.
Which, fans of the show will know we've been saying that for a while. No shame and no stress on my boy Roger from American Dad or Nicki Minaj, who you can play as in that game.
Right.
But I think people were craving good gameplay over skins.
Yeah.
And Battlefield seems to have returned to show us that they can make some changes to a really wonderful formula, like adding the healers. They could go back to things that worked, like going back to classes, and they could make a game that is very visually impressive and stimulating to play, despite some challenges like snipers, which are just a challenge in every first-person game.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get my hands on it and to try a couple rounds. I'll probably get it on PlayStation and PC just to try out both, because I want to see how it runs on either one, and how you're talking about that or controls.
Yeah.
Seems like it might be the way to play.
Maybe. I'm not sure yet. For me, I always, when it comes to first-person shooters, I usually prefer to play them on PC because I like aiming with the mouse. But I know that auto-aim has just gotten progressively worse over time. So I just am trying to be conscious of that. Something I did want to bring up, there were people having trouble installing running, I should say, the Battlefield beta. And that is because Battlefield requires the safe boot protocol. And they are using that as a form of anti-cheat. That's not the only anti-cheat in the game, but as a way to prevent hacking in the game. It's not stopping all of it, but they have stopped some hacking because of it. I haven't had to think about that because I have a computer that has Windows 11, and so that's just part of Windows 11. It has safe boot, but if you're not on Windows 11, you do not have safe boot necessarily on, and apparently it is not easy to figure out. Apparently there are a lot of steps, and so if you're trying to play the Battlefield 6 beta on PC, you don't have Windows 11, you should do your homework before you commit to doing that, because apparently it's very difficult. I have a good friend, Sam, who was on the podcast a couple weeks ago. He couldn't figure out the safe boot protocol, and so he wasn't able to play the beta this weekend on PC.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, great job, Windows 10. That it is pretty wild. My computer is be giving messages like, "Hey, we can't upgrade your computer to Windows 11." I'm like, "No, you can.
You can. You're choosing not to.
You're choosing not to.
You're choosing not to. You're trying to get me to buy more stuff."
Windows 11 isn't messing with my computer. It can run. My computer can run Crysis. It can run Windows 11. You know what you do.
You know what you did.
But that is interesting to know, and it'll be a good sort of thing to figure out ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because Hachi Machi, that is the problem I feel like with a lot of computer games lately, is the optimization. I mean, not lately. It has been a big issue, but seeing some like major games drop with poor optimization in 2025 is a big question mark. Like, what? Yeah. How are we doing this?
Yeah, I do want to say though, I was floored by how well Battlefield 6 ran. And that being said, I did not push the envelope with the graphics. I was just like, you know what? If my computer can run Battlefield 6 at whatever the auto settings are, that's fine with me. And I even took my graphics all the way to the lowest setting, and it still looks really good. And I very heavily suspect that if you're playing Battlefield on a console, it is running on the lowest setting. It's just they've made it so that the lowest setting doesn't look like, you know, garbage and pixels everywhere. So I thought it ran really well, really smooth, very short load times. It's just, you can tell. We've talked about their program Battlefield Labs on this podcast before, where they just have a massive amount of people testing all the game modes and everything. And you can tell that this game had been game tested so much on various different hardwares that it just ran well and everything was optimized. And so that was refreshing to see, especially coming out of a company like EA. So
yeah, that's a huge win for EA at a time when I think they've been like, they need a win. They need a win for sure.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's move right on to the next news topic, and that is Helldivers Xbox release is coming up. I believe it comes out on August 26th, if I'm not mistaken, and they dropped the Boom trailer for Helldivers. So it's, you know, I was watching it and I was like, oh, this is a pretty typical Helldivers ad. They're showing me things that I've already seen before, and so that's all fine and dandy. Hopefully it's getting Xbox players excited. But the last 5 seconds of the trailer, they played the Halo ODST intro music, and I believe, Phil, that I have made a proper call and that there will be a Halo Warbond in the game. And I believe it's going to be announced at Gamescom, which is next week. So
interesting.
This is my theory. This is my theory. Are you excited to play the next Halo game? I mean, the Halo Warbond.
There won't be another Halo game. Let's be honest.
This is it. This is it.
This is it. This is honestly the best Halo game in a while. But yeah, no, Helldivers 2. It makes a lot of sense because I feel like literally what are they called? The Hell Jumpers. The ODST, or are they called Helldivers? Like, they are specifically branded in the Halo game as the thing that this whole game is about.
Yep. They literally shoot down a pod and everything.
Yeah. So I think it is a perfect fit for this. It's cool to see Microsoft being like, let's play ball. Apparently, I'm sure if this had launched on Xbox, this crossover wouldn't be happening. And that, I mean to say, like, they must have seen how big of a deal this game is and how big of an impact it's had on the world of games. So they are very down to play ball and lean in and not be like, you copied us, but be like, you did something we're not even doing, so please take these skins.
If you can't beat them, you know, like,
and Microsoft has proved time and time again that they cannot beat them.
I mean, they did it in the Xbox 360 era, but it's been a hot minute since that era. So, yeah. But yeah, I think ideally, I'd love to see a Helldivers comes to Xbox, $40. And then I believe the Ultimate Edition on PlayStation is $60, where you get certain perks, and then you get like the Steel Veterans Warbond. I'd love to see an Xbox edition of that, where instead of the Steel Veterans Warbond, you just get a Halo Warbond. And I think people would lose their freaking mind. You're going to print money with that. So that's a everybody wins kind of scenario. So yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love there to be a heavy armor that looks like a Spartan. I'd love there to be a medium armor that's ODST, and then I'd love there to be a light armor that is like
as a generic UNSC.
Exactly, your generic NPC UNSC soldier. So I think that would be freaking great. So
interesting. I mean, like, it's really cool that they got POD's classic "Here Comes the Boom"
right
for the trailer. But I think it's very cool that this is happening. I wonder what the chances are of Microsoft being like, and this is only for Xbox players, because I think in a normal world I would totally anticipate that being the option. But now that Microsoft has talked so openly about having Halo come to PlayStation, their Indiana Jones exclusive game came to PlayStation.
Yep.
Like, they are in the time of their life where they're sort of like not scrambling. They're evolving they're changing their tactics, and they're letting things come to PlayStation. So I do think there's probably like a 20% chance that they say, no, this is only for Xbox and PC players. But I do think this is likely going to be everyone gets the Halo. Well, everyone that probably wants to buy it gets the Halo Warbond, and you could be playing as the Master Chief on PlayStation, a little bit ahead of actually doing that in the Master Chief Collection for PlayStation.
Sure. Yeah, I think that Halo is going to come to PlayStation this year. We've seen reports, and we've talked about it on the podcast, that it's very likely that it's going to happen. So this lines up perfectly with that. Do you think there will be a Halo on PlayStation like confirmed announcement at Gamescom next week?
Maybe this is the way they do it, is being like, hey, because a week? No, the 26th is 2 weeks out from today. I don't know. I could see them announcing it there, or letting it wait for a little while till like after Sony has done what it's going to do with its holiday season. Because I kind of wonder on what the point of Halo on PlayStation will be, and this is probably a subject for a later discussion.
Sure.
But I do wonder a little bit who that's for at this point, especially if it's like a re-release or collection or something like that. So I don't know. I think it's like 50% chance we're gonna hear it at yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm doing a lot of bets this week. 50, 20%.
Yeah, a lot of bets. You download
33% chance of rain. Yeah. Here's our first sponsor, DraftKings. Do you want to bet on whether or not someone's gonna chuck a sex toy at a WNBA game? You could do that at DraftKings.
That's
God,
crazy.
The world's bad.
That's crazy that they do that. That's so. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, also it's like that's something that can be manipulated. That's
something that you can go do.
You can go do that. You should not be able to bet on that. That should be illegal, but whatever. Okay. EA back in the news. So apparently there was almost a Dragon Age Trilogy remaster. Now, for those of you saying, oh, there was no such thing as Dragon Age 3, they mean Dragon Age Inquisition. So this would be 1, 2, and Inquisition. And this idea was pitched as like a full remaster, all 3 games bundled in one. And this was pitched back in 2021 as a way to kind of make some money while they were developing Dragon Age Veilguard. And EA said, okay, yeah, if you guys want to do it, that sounds great, but do it with the money that you already have. And BioWare was like, we can't do it with the money you already have. We're using the money we already have. And then EA was like, all right, well, never mind. And they were like, but we won't.
Like, all right, you answered your own question.
Yeah. So it's just kind of silly how some of these decisions are glossed over and not made. I feel like I guess the question we really should be asking is, would a Dragon Age Trilogy remaster actually have made money? And if this was pitched in 2021, let's say it came out in 2023, would it have really made money? The year of Baldur's Gate?
I don't think so. Just like talking about, like the Master Chief Collection coming to PlayStation.
Right.
I don't know who this is for, because I think if you love Dragon Age this much, you are playing it on your PC. You're buying the digital copy for PlayStation 3 and playing it on the PlayStation 4 or 5,
right,
or the PlayStation 4. I don't think that this has the staying power, at least for me personally, as Mass Effect. Mass Effect, the trilogy remastered makes sense. Also, after Andromeda, there's not a new game for a while, so this is like getting people an opportunity to play it. And it's also, I guess they're both 2 generations back now. Was the most recent entry before Veilguard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think that this is a tough one to sell to people, because also the trilogy is not super tightly connected. Yeah. It is not like you're playing different parts of one story. You're playing 3 distinct stories.
Fully agree. It's not like Mass Effect. It's not part of a single narrative or anything like that. I think they just thought too big. I think they should have just pitched Dragon Age Original Remastered. I think that's what they should have done. Dragon Age 2 was very divisive with the fan base. Some people like it. Some people hate it. Dragon Age 1 is the oldest game. It needs the most remastering. Similar to Mass Effect 1. Came out a long time ago. So the graphics look a poopy. And they do.
That got me. That was a line. No, listen, as someone who loves the old Dragon Age game, I think Inquisition was probably my favorite. I played a ton of Inquisition. Mm-hmm. I thought it's also tough because those games vary so differently. It's tough to even call them a trilogy, because the first game is just in terms of its guts and the gameplay engine, it is so different than the next 2. The first one is a full RPG. The second one is like an action third-person beat-em-up RPG, and the third one is a little bit more of an RPG, but still with a lot of action in there.
It's kind of a hybrid in between the 2, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Dang it.
All right. Well,
I want more good Dragon Age. I want that. I hope that Veilguard has opened the doors for them to be like, can you just let us make a single player game and not tell us to put a battle pass in it? We'll do great.
Yeah. Yeah. And we won't have to make the engine that it has to like run online.
Yeah.
So, all right. Subnautica 2 news. They are in hot water. So a lot of drama going around when it comes to Subnautica 2. For those of you who are not familiar with Subnautica, it is a underwater survival action adventure game, and it's very successful on Steam, and it has come to consoles and everything like that. Subnautica 2 is a very anticipated game, and apparently, well, I mean, not apparently, it was supposed to come out last year, Phil. The game was supposed to come out, but it got delayed. I think we talked about it getting delayed back when it happened last year. And there's some hidden drama going on behind here. The original two leads on Subnautica 1 and who were working on Subnautica 2 for about half of its development cycle, they left in late 2023, I believe. And they left the game in a position that they believed that it was going to release in 2024. And if they did release the game in 2024, those two leads, as well as many employees within the company, were going to be getting a gigantic $250 million bonus payment that is not going to one person. It's distributed across the entire team. But because they left the team, the person who was in charge as the lead, who remained, held the launch of the game back so that they would not get that bonus by saying, no, we have to launch it in 2025 because it's not ready for release. And so they're going back, which he's probably got his marching orders from the owners who gave the, the bonus contract and everything like that. So there's a lot of drama going on, and I hope that this isn't bad for the game. Everything that we've seen about Subnautica has looked really, really good. Being a huge survival crafting fan myself, it's a game I'm very interested in. And I hope that all this does is it makes the game better for its longer development cycle. But it really does piss me off that there's some shadiness going on in the background here.
Yeah.
So
the contract for benefiting all the workers getting kind of like squashed by management and middle management, or like, the promise from the higher ups to the employees getting taken away by someone who gets their marching orders from the people who promised that bonus makes a lot of sense in a really crappy way. And it sucks to think that could be happening with this game, because I feel like a lot of indies, for me, like, it just warms my heart to see people making something like a passion project. And not say that this is necessarily an indie because that is a successful first iteration.
Right.
But all of that to say, it kind of taints the view of the game for me a little bit. And 100%. When it comes out, that will be in my mind,
Yeah.
That said, I love Subnautica 1. Did you play the first Subnautica?
I have not beaten it, but I bought it on Steam earlier this year and gave it a good run. So, yeah.
Yeah. I really like they build so well atmospherically. And I missed the opportunity to say this joke earlier, but when you read the title of the article that Subnautica 2 is in hot water, I said, makes sense. Global warming. The water is getting hotter. When you showed me the list of stories, I didn't even realize that was a pun.
All right, good. Well, I need to make it more obvious then.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along. Monster Hunter Wilds. It's getting a big update. Lots of needed things. Phil, you dove a little bit into this. What's going on with Monster Hunter Wilds? This is the big 1.021 update.
Yeah, they're releasing a big update for a lot of stuff in the game. Allegedly, they're trying to... For me, one of the things that matters most is the PC performance. It's been running like trash. I stopped playing it on PC and moved over to PlayStation 5 to play it. But it looks like they have reduced the load from like their shaders and their anti-cheat software to by 90%. So if that is the case and the disk usage is that much lower, the game seems like it would run amazing on PC. According to Reddit, because I haven't gotten a chance to hop in and play it myself, everyone, well, it seems like people are not sure that there is a difference.
Sure.
Is this
so? I don't think it's been released yet. I think it releases tonight or tomorrow morning or something like that. So
gotcha, the 13th.
But there might be like Steam users who have early access to the update. So
I guess like people reading it on Reddit and looking for all like the different the like PC things that they're supposed to be fixing.
Yeah.
What they're saying is that it doesn't look like it is actually going to address those issues, or it doesn't like go into detail on how it will address those issues. But if you are not playing on PC and you're playing on one of your next gen, current gen consoles, there is a lot of stuff they added to this. There are 9+ star monster quests, which means like the sort of end game stuff. There is a lot more of the big bad monsters like the Rey Dao, the Uthduna, the Jin Dahad appearing more often. So like the monsters that you get some of the best gear from and some of the best outfits from will be easier to farm for that high class material. They're doing updates to a lot of the weapons and balancing. Their approach to balancing does seem to be, let's just amp things up if they're not as good as the best thing. So trying to make everything like better, which is great.
Totally.
But the way that they should be doing it, they also outlined their update roadmap for their title updates, which is the next two will have an additional monsters and some more hunts, and all of them will have various improvements and adjustments for their gameplay. So there's a lot to this one. Hopefully it's good.
It's good. It's needed content, especially for the end game. Those people who like played Monster Hunter Wilds into the ground and burned out, they need some end game content. So maybe they'll bring some of the player base back. I'm happy to see they're attempting to solve some of the performance issues, but at the end of the day, I honestly think the engine is just too old. And that it's having trouble keeping up with itself. And unless you're going to run this on a supercomputer, so I just think it's an engine problem. I really hope that Capcom learns from this and they use a new engine that they build from the ground up, or they use somebody else's engine for their next game, because Wilds kind of proved how far this engine can go, in my opinion. I do have...
I will...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was on the engine. I think RE engine, or RE6, whatever they're running on, can do really amazing things. Like Devil May Cry looks incredible.
Sure.
The most recent Resident Evil games look really, really great. I just think it's not great for Monster Hunter.
It's not great for open world environments, I feel like.
Yes.
Where you have to render a lot of stuff. You have to render these giant creatures. Like, I will always applaud Monster Hunter on its animations. It's got incredible creature animations, top notch. But yeah, I don't think that this engine goes well with this game type. But my big problem with this update, Phil, what is my biggest problem with this update? Any guesses?
No new monsters?
Where are the palicos and why aren't they cooking? What is going on? Where are the palico cooking animations?
Let the palicos cook.
There are nothing. There's nothing in this article, nothing in this update about palicos cooking. Why the hell not? You want to know how to bring people back? Put some cute cats in the game. God damn it.
You are completely right. I think that's going to be one of the things in the next game that they're going to, and I will be irate that they will do this, but there'll be a whole IGN story about like, that's right, palico cooking scenes are back, and you didn't know that you missed them even.
We did.
We did. We knew immediately when you were like, "All right, here's the cooking animation. You're just gonna put a bunch of random items in a pan and heat them up."
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very disappointed about that. I want to put Palico's cooking on our TikTok. I think that'd be swell.
Yeah.
But not going to happen. Not going to happen anytime soon. So I'll have to look to other cute games.
Well, slap in the face is they added Palico cooking stuff, but it is the same animation, and it is so little of them cooking. It is mostly like them running with the food.
It's not even comparable to Worlds. It's outrageous. So gross. All right. Well, that concludes the news for this week. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that was really worth mentioning. I know Remedy has publicly admitted that Firebreak was a bad game, and they were underwhelmed with the sales. So there's that. Way to state the obvious. We all knew it was bad. It's not a full video game. It was. I
love that, a public admission of yeah, this one sucked, gang. We're sorry.
and we can't really fix it. I don't know what the plan was with that. So
we don't have time, and it's just kind of a bad concept. So we're not going to do much to fix. We thought a game where you go fix pipes would be fun, but egg on our face.
Yeah, for real. Well, I'm glad they at least admitted that to some degree. But I don't know. I'm really excited for Gamescom next week. I think there's going to be a lot of good announcements. I think we're going to get some more Ghost of Yote footage, which I'm very excited for. I'd love to see a Ghost of Yote Legends trailer, even if it's not going to be something that's available at launch. But yeah, that's really what I'm looking forward to.
Any announcements that you have on your dream board for Gamescom?
I mean, the Halo on PlayStation. No, that's not really a dream board. That's more I really think it's going to happen. So, and everything that we've been reading has indicated that. I don't know. Maybe some Metroid footage for the Switch 2 would be good.
Yeah.
But again, Gamescom, Nintendo doesn't really operate on everybody else's calendar. So it's something from Xbox to get me excited about Xbox. Because I don't know what exclusives they're working with right now. I know The Outer Worlds 2 is coming out in a little bit. But yeah, not really a lot from Xbox. So I'd love to see more of that. Or I always want to see Insomniac's Wolverine, but God knows when I'm going to see that. So
that would be so cool if they showed us the game that we know is coming out.
Right.
Yeah. I think I would love to see some stuff from Insomniac, or just kind of what Sony's got cooking, because I feel like they're dormant right now. And I also feel like Gamescom is the next biggest thing. Since E3 and Summer Games Fest, Summer Games Fest is trying to be E3, but E3 and Summer Games Fest are not the same thing. So I feel like it's Gamescom and the Game Awards now.
Sure.
And Gamescom should show us some pretty big stuff, but I do feel like we are in a holding pattern from a lot of the major studios right now, where they've released something or they're working on their next thing. But I feel like now is about the time we should start seeing some hints of here's Insomniac's next thing, here's Santa Monica's, here's Naughty Dog's next thing. Guerrilla,
Yeah, bring me back Killzone, baby. Come on.
Or give me 6 more Horizons. I don't know. Just no more Lego Horizons, please.
No, if you want 6 Horizons, 3 of them are going to be Legos, and then there's going to be a VR one, and there's going to be a mobile game, and there's going to be a Pokemon Go Horizon. And you don't tempt them. So
the upsetting thing about the stuff that you said is that most of that is already a thing.
Yes, correct. So, they can make Witcher into Pokemon Go. They can make anything into Pokemon Go. So yeah. All right. Well,
Witcher. I want to see Witcher footage. That's what I want from games.
Oh yes.
Give me a bunch
oh my god. I mean, with how much footage they showed, I wasn't expecting anything else. So, so yeah, we'll see. But yes, we're gonna end it there. Thank you everyone for watching episode 88 of the GGG podcast. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. And if you're following us over on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, follow us over there as well. Give us a 5-star review. We'd appreciate it. I'm excited for Gamescom next week, so that's what we're probably going to be talking about on next week's episode. So stay tuned. Thank you for joining me as always, Phil, and peace out, everybody.
Peace.